G'day, welcome back to Hardtop Fab. So we've got the new tray in. I had it bent up this afternoon and I've installed it. I've just tacked it in just to get an idea of where it's going, and now I've just got to wrap my head around where to go from here. So there's the tray. So obviously we're looking at it from the top. Sheets go over the top. Still yet to work out what I'm going to do about that. So I'm going to sheet all the way to here. So sheet from here across, maybe to here. I don't know yet. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But we're all ready to go for the sheet along here. I've just cut out a template like such. Like such. I'll transfer that onto some alley and see how we go from there. But it's all coming along. It's actually starting to look like a hardtop now. I think once that's welded in, that's going to be strong as hell. I don't think I'm going to need much more. All the electricals are going to be up the front here, I'd say. Yes, up the front here, and then run down the tray to the sides there and down there, I'd say. All right, well, I'll continue and I'll get back to you soon. Hey guys, so we've finished another day. This is what we've got done. It's only half done, so forget the gaps. It's all good. So I'll fill all that in. Waterproof that section. This is the top, so you're not going to see it much, and I'm going to put some thought into what to do about that cable tray. But all in all, it's been all right. Another progress report today, or this morning. I've done the fill-in for around the rod tubes and welded it all up. And I think I'm just about done. Have a gander. I know the welding's not wonderful, but I had a lot of holes. I've got to fill that up too. Jeez, that's a bit dodgy, that one. So again, I'll reiterate, this is all getting painted, so you're hardly going to see any of this. From a distance it looks great. Alright, so there you go. So the next job today will be to weld that cable tray in. I'm just going to stitch a little bit down here on either side at the bottoms because they will be seen from inside. I've had to dock it at the end here because it was just too big. It was a 1500 by 2.4 and there it sits. So what I've done is just butted it up against the other sheet, marked it, clamped it, mark it down that line. I'm just going to cut it off here just to get rid of the excess at the front here, and then down that side. I really originally wanted to fold this over and have that as the, but it's just not going to happen. Too hard, so I'll cut it off and do a bit more welding. But that's where we're up to. So I'll give you a yell. I'll give you an update once I've got that plasma cut, ground away, cleaned up, and looking schmick. All right. So I'll give you a look at what we've done so far. This was a little bit of a quick job that I did over the weekend. I had a mate down here. And he pushed me into, because I had a spare pair of hands so we could lift up the larger sheets. So he gave us a hand lifting on these sheets. We've marked up the rear sheet, and this is the result. So look at that, it's fit quite well. So I'm leaving that gap here because that's where the other sheet's going to butt up, and I'm going to plug weld it along there. And coming off the side here, I'm going to have a sheet that comes down about maybe 60 or 70 mil. And I've left this gap in here so I can fill all that with weld. So I'll just stitch it, and then in between stitching, I've got to cut this down a little bit. There's the cable tray that comes right back to here, and if you can see up there, I don't know, maybe from under here is a bit better. So that cable tray, the height of the cable tray is not allowing this sheet to go down, so I'm just going to have to cut a little bit of that just to make it. It will go down if I force it, but I don't really want to force it. So full weld across there eventually. I've marked these so where they are so I can refit them. Again, I've marked this out and cut it. I've stuffed up the gap between here and here is wider than it is on that side by about 30 or 40 mil. So it's not an issue. It just means I'll waste a little bit more sheet, but it just goes to show, me, a backyard dude, and a proper boiler maker, because they take all that into consideration. But you know what? It's my boat. Don't give a shit. But for strength-wise, I think we've nailed it for strength. So I'll continue, and next time you see me, I'll probably have the front sheet on. So we're ready to weld the roof sheets on. I'll give you. So what I've done is I've marked them all and center punched and then drilled them out so I can plug weld. It's probably overkill, I know, but that's how I'm going to do it. So the plan is start from the middle, plug weld the middle, and then work out either side. Probably I'll do one and then diagonal and diagonal and diagonal or something, just so I keep the heat out of it. But it's all going well. It's looking good. I've decided that running the wire, I'll run the wire from the inside, just put one hole in the top, run everything from that. I think that's going to be the way to go. It's going to just save a lot of mucking around. So we're just about to weld. I'm going to weld all those, plug weld all those in now. So here we go. See you next time. Morning guys. Right, so we've got a bit of a milestone here today. I've just plug welded all the plugs for the roof, and I have also just tacked it on at the back and the front, and I'll let you have a look. So there you go, all plug welded and sanded. And I've just tacked that down at the back there. I'm going to attack that now. I'll just stitch that on. And I've got a stitch around the edge as well. And I've just welded up underneath there, so I'm going to flip that over. I'll flip that over and weld it from underneath. That way I can get a really good weld on it. It's turned out quite good. I didn't realise I could do it that well. So it looks very big sitting down here on the floor, but when you get it up against the boat, it's very much in proportion. If you didn't know, that's our business, T&N Coastal Cleaning Services. There again. Yeah, so there you go. Cheap plug there. I've just welded up one side, and I wanted to brag a little bit about how good my bloody welding is. No shit. It's getting a lot better. But all you professional welders out there, I know it's not perfect. Again, I'm just a backyard dude. Okay, never been schooled at aluminium welding except for my mate. But so I've got one side done. I staggered the welding just before I do this. I'll show you the settings I've got it on. I'm using a Viper, a Unimig Viper 185 with the spool gun, which is really good. It's awesome. So I'll show you this. Viper 185 using argon at, it's about 12, between 10 and 12 when I'm striking an arc. And these are my settings. So that's for 3mm. So I'm welding 3mm plate to 3mm tube. There we go. A bit shitty there, but still all got to be cleaned up, and you got to remember this is all getting covered. So away we go to the next side, and this side I'm going to have to close this gap a little bit. That gap's a wee bit too big to fill, so what I'll do is I'll squash it down as I'm going. Okay, so I'll see you again soon at another episode of Hardtop.